CIA director claims that China has genetically modified super soldiers. 28 years ago, we saw the birth of a blockbuster star, film director Ronald Emmerich, although he had already directed other films as well. Universal Soldier was his first film in the United States. The plot of the film is simple. Basically, the US government starts a project in which it resurrects dead soldiers and transforms them into super soldiers. In the film, soldiers were dead but have been modified so that their fingers can grow back, and they had chip installed in their heads that facilitated them to walk, to have minds controlled by Dolph Lundgren or Jean-Claude Van Damme. Also, there is a government conspiracy that over the years the plot of the film could be morphed into a kind of Cold War based on biotechnology. And what about universal soldiers in real life? The U.S. intelligence community, more commonly known as the CIA, has revealed that China has conducted human tests on members of the People's Liberation Army with the aim of developing super soldiers that are soldiers with biological enhanced capabilities. John Ratcliffe, director of the CIA, made this shocking revelation in an article for the American newspaper The Wall Street Journal, in which he argued that China represents the main threat to U.S. national security. He said there are no ethical limits, Ratcliffe said, to Beijing's quest for power. The People's Republic of China represents the greatest threat to the United States today, and the greatest threat to democracy and freedom worldwide since World War II. Ratcliffe went on to say, the intelligence is clear. Beijing intends to dominate the United States and the rest of the planet economically, militarily, and technologically. Last year, 2 American scientists claimed that China was applying biotechnology to the battlefield, including gene editing technology, to improve the results. China appears to be using CRISPR gene editing tools, short for clustered and regulatory space short palindromic repeats. CRISPR has been used to treat genetic diseases and modify plants, but Western scientists consider it unethical to try to manipulate genes to improve the performance of healthy people. While the potential to harness CRISPR to increase human capabilities in the future battlefield remains the only hypothesis, there are now signs that China military researchers are beginning to explore this potential. Chinese scientists and military strategists have consistently emphasized that biotechnology could become a new height of strategic command of the future evolution in military affairs. Vorndick said he is less concerned about the emergence of super soldiers providing military-level advantage than the consequences of altered human genes. Vorndick says, when we start playing with genetic organisms, there could be unforeseen consequences. It should also be noted that in 2017, a Chinese general pointed out that modern biotechnology and its integration with information, nanotechnology, and cognitive domains, etc., will have revolutionary influences on weapons and equipment, combat spaces, forms of war, and military theories. The Chinese government has decided to comment on the matter, has declined to comment. Now, creating super soldiers? As much as the United States publicly denounces the use of biotechnology at the military level by China, the truth is that genetically modified soldiers are the future in one way or another. During the height of the Cold War, the American military tried to create military men with supernatural abilities. And now the Pentagon is looking at a number of technologies such as pain immunizations, telepathy, exoskeletons, and wearable robotics to improve the effectiveness of its soldiers. The idea that China created super soldiers is fascinating, yet ethically terrifying. China's armed forces are the largest in the world, with 2.2 million personnel, and lately China spent $178.16 billion on its defense budget. However, the rise of the super soldier seems inevitable. Other countries in the past and present have invested budgets in technologies that could empower soldiers. Perhaps the question is not if we should do it, but when should we do it? The world of science and technology has gone completely crazy, it appears, and we're teaching machines to think for themselves. We're modifying genes so that in the future the human race is almost perfect, but in reality is quite another. we are destroying humanity, creating a completely different race. And all this shows us that human stupidity has no limits, and that we're led by completely inept minds, it appears. This is on Infinity Explorers by Anne Shrivastava. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.